I have Jahleel here. Jahleel, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Jahleel Vester, and I work for Summit Funding, a mortgage bank here in Oak Harbor, Washington.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Live today. So we want to talk a little bit about a hot topic right now. What is mortgage forbearance? Can you maybe
Yes.
give us a short term on what it is?
Yeah, so in short, a mortgage forbearance is when your lender temporarily agrees to your lender agrees to temporarily suspend your mortgage payment for a agreed upon term, typically 3 months.
Okay, so are you starting to see some inquiries on this from clients and kind of their scenarios right now and how it can help them?
100%. A lot of people are getting squeezed right now economically with some of the layoffs happening. So forbearance conversations are increasing right now. Servicing departments, you hear a lot of their lines just being put on hold because they're very busy.
Yeah, I just left an appointment right now, and she's in the dental industry, and she just put her loan on mortgage forbearance because she's now on unemployment and
Yeah.
having a hard time, right? I
Wow.
mean,
Yeah.
a lot of Americans are having that right now. So,
It's a real thing.
so some of the questions I kind of wanted to cover so we could help educate our clients is, does mortgage forbearance affect your credit?
So while you're in the term of mortgage forbearance, your credit will not be affected. So essentially, when you have gotten into mortgage forbearance, you've contacted your lender, you've told them of your situation, and then they have agreed to say, okay, we're going to put you in forbearance. When they've agreed to do that, your credit will not be affected and you will not get any late fees on your payments.
Okay, that's awesome news. So, when is the mortgage forbearance due?
At the end of the term. So typically, if it's 3 months that's been agreed to, then after 3 months, the total of the missed mortgage payments will be due. So you're not
That
going to.
red flag to me right there. That's really concerning, right? Why
Yes,
are bankers doing that to us right now? Can you help us out with that?
I mean, there's not too much more they can do, but it sucks. And people need to know that forbearance is not
Yes.
forgiveness. Okay. Forbearance is not forgiveness. And there's a great article that I put on my Facebook. So check it out. Forbearance is not forgiveness.
Let me ask you a question, because this is back in the day when they did this. I mean, a long time ago, they used to allow you to tack it on to your mortgage, but they're not doing that anymore, right?
Correct. Servicing departments do not have that authority at this time to tack on the missed payments onto your loan.
Okay. Do you think that's something maybe they could call their loan officer or their lender and ask if there's a possibility that maybe they can do that?
The best alternative right now is to restructure your loan if you feel that you're going to have trouble paying that loan off in the future, or at least making those mortgage payments. So you could do something like get a cash out refinance pending that you qualify and pending that the numbers work for you. You can tap into the equity that is already existing in your home and put that money. Now you have to be disciplined, but after the loan closes, you take the money that you've taken out, put it in a savings account, let it sit there. And then in those months where now you're squeezed and you're not sure where your mortgage payment is coming from, now you're going to take the money that you took out and pay it back. And then pending you make it through the rest of this COVID-19 period, and then you're back to work and you just have a lump sum of cash just sitting in the bank, you can put it back to principal and then be right back where you started.
So do you think banks will lend home equity lines of credit if you don't have a job?
That one's tricky because typically, like even mortgage stuff that I deal with, we're going to lend you money based on monthly income. And so if your monthly income is impaired, it is likely that you might get turned down for HELOCs at this time.
Does unemployment count if you get unemployment, or it does not?
You cannot get a mortgage based on unemployment because it's stable and continuous is the name of the game when we're qualifying income. And unemployment is not meant to be continuous. It's meant to be a relief for a temporary amount of time.
So what is the max and what is the minimum length for a mortgage forbearance that you can get with your lender?
Right now, most lenders, most servicing departments, I actually got off the line with my servicing department before this call. we're doing 3 months right now. However, I did do some digging even last Friday. So FHA's mortgagee letter, which they released 2020-06, for COVID-19, they're going to be extending some of these forbearance periods to 6 months. And then if you still have issues, you can contact your lender servicer and request another 6 months. But again, the money is not forgiven, so you're going to have to pay it back at some point.
Right. So, and that's going to lead me to, I would love for you to kind of talk about that story that you posted on Facebook. And I've seen it kind of going through the motions throughout my Facebook too. I'm sure other people have seen it as well, but maybe you can kind of share that story so people can better understand mortgage forbearance and what it looks like for them.
Yeah. So let's just say Bobby Joe fell on hard times, and now Bob wants to come in and say, hey, I need forbearance. I'm just not seeing, I lost my job because of COVID-19 and I'm not going to be able to make these payments. Well, he goes into forbearance. Okay. And at the end of that 3-month term, let's just say the servicer gave him 3 months, no mortgage payments are due for 3 months, which means no late fees are going to be accrued and your credit is not going to be touched for those 3 months. So it seems like a good deal, right? Well, Bobby Joe is now here at the end of this 3 months, and the bank says, all right, $15,000 are due for you because you did not pay this over the last 3 months. So he's got a big house.
Crazy.
Boom. 15,000 balloon payment out of nowhere, seemingly. Okay. And so Bobby Joe says, I don't have $15,000 in the bank. I mean,
who would right now? Yeah, it's crazy.
I have no work. Where is 15,000 going to come from? So now your bank is going to say, okay, well, we have loss mitigation programs because the bank is not trying to lose this money. They're going to work with you so that you can pay on this debt. All right. So now because this loss mitigation program, we're going to break out this 15,000 over the next 12 months. And then we're going to tack it on to the regular mortgage payment. So instead of say the $2,500 monthly mortgage payment, you had whatever 15,000 divided by 12 is. So about $1,250 plus your 2,500 is what you owe every month.
And I mean, the average American, there's no way they could do that. That's gas, groceries,
Yes.
Utilities, etc.
100%.
So to me, this sounds like the mortgage forbearance is probably not for most Americans, to be honest with you. If you don't
100%.
have that cash to pay back, you don't know you're going to get your job back.
Yeah.
This could be pretty scary, I would say.
Very much so. In a sense, the forbearance can almost act like you're just stretching out a foreclosure in a sense. It's something that you really want to avoid if possible.
So let's talk alternate solutions. What other ideas do you have that if someone is going to be struggling to make their mortgage, what else could they do?
My really best, biggest, and brightest idea I've had thus far is tapping into that equity that people have on hand right now. Pending that they qualify, doing a cash out refinance to take that money out and just have as a safety net is really the best solution, because you would rather borrow from yourself than not pay anything for 3 months and then get hit with a balloon payment. So pending that they qualify, borrowing from yourself is a little bit better than borrowing from a bank.
And most Americans, I've heard some stats, and don't quote me on it, but I've heard most Americans do have quite a bit of equity in their homes right now, which is great. I know I've been seeing that with my sellers. So
yeah, I trust your advice on that one for sure.
So one of the other things I wanted to ask you, oh gosh, am I going to draw a blank here, is boy, let me see here, gonna get my notes up here, just a second, give me two. I had notes. I wanted to find out if let's see, we did other options. How do you qualify for a mortgage forbearance?
All you have to do to qualify is call your servicing department, and typically the customer care team, at least that's what my company calls them, the customer care team will say, look at your financials and say, okay, you qualify for the mortgage forbearance, and then you'll proceed forward. But what we're starting to see in some of these COVID-19 guidelines that FHA, Fannie Mae have been coming out with, it's getting as simple as a phone call and saying, hey, I'm struggling due to COVID-19. And then you'll automatically qualify and you'll be able to be put in forbearance just by calling and contacting your loan servicer.
crazy. So any other thoughts or comments that you wanted to make on the mortgage forbearance that would be helpful to our consumers out there?
Yes. So if you are looking to sell your home and you're in mortgage forbearance at the same time, it is not going to be an issue because essentially,
Oh, that was the other question. I love it. Thank you.
yes, ma'am, of course, 100%. So if you are in mortgage forbearance and you're trying to sell your home, it is not going to be a problem because at the end of the transaction, when the payoff statement is released, all those monthly payments that you're missing are going to be added into the payoff. So it may come
That's
out of your
awesome.
proceeds at a cash to close, but it's not going to affect you because essentially a buyer is not aware of you as a seller's financing situation. And the bank, all it cares about is getting its money back anyway. So you're not going to have a problem selling your home.
You nailed that, because that's exactly what's happening with my client right now.
Yeah.
Is they went into mortgage forbearance. I'm listing their house here in the next day or two. And she asked that question to me. And I was like, well, I don't know the answer to that. I haven't lived through that. So that's great news. I will definitely pass that along to her. So
Excellent.
sweet. Well, you are the best. Thank you so much for coming on live and hosting with me. Super valuable information for our clients out there.
Yeah.
If you guys need any help with this, or you're looking to purchase a house right now, please reach out to Jahleel. He'll hook you up, get you pre-qualified. And you guys,
hey, come on.
Yeah.
You better preach, Kelly.
You hear me. And you know, you guys, the other thing I wanted to say out there too is homes are being sold right now. You guys,
Yeah.
I love it. So as much as, you know, maybe a little bit of consumer confidence down, you guys, we just had 2 go pending this weekend. I'm still actively listing homes every week here. And so the real estate world has not stopped. So that's great news. So if you need help and you're looking to find the value of your house, give me a call. I'm always happy to get you guys a price opinion. So thanks again so much for tuning in, everybody. Right. And have a great day, Jahleel.
All righty. Thank you so much.
All
Take care.
right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Later.